guys, I got my hire car here. Check this guy out. 0 to 100 in maybe 4 or 5 seconds flat. So this is what I'm using to go out and get my second tan. Now if I was in Thailand, I'd spend about half an hour looking over it just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. But because I'm in Australia, I'm going to trust that I don't need to look over this with a fine-tooth comb. And we're ready to rock and roll, guys. Another update on the road. Hey guys, this is really bad. I'm driving at the moment, but there's not that many cars on the road. But so I'm actually on my way to get my very next tan. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm just going to move my phone in case that's a police car that's driving up next to me. They can't see my phone. So I'm on my way to get my very next tan. So now is the colour you see me. In about 45 minutes from now, you'll see me as a completely different person. Oh, the same person, but just completely different. So super pumped, guys. Tomorrow's the big day, the big competition, and I have been taking photos of my physique every couple of hours, been sending them through to my competition coach. She wants to see how much my body is changing with my carb intake, and she hasn't replied to any of my messages. It's kind of weird. Not really. She's probably watching this, but she hasn't responded yet, so I don't know if that's good news or bad news or what. So it's raining outside in Melbourne. If I could only flick the camera around to show you just how shitty it is outside right now. That's why I'm driving a hire car. And I thought I'd take this moment to explain and just go over whether I've had any mental breakdowns in the last 2 months in getting ready for this second competition of mine. I'm not sure if you've been tuned in to my first comp vlog series. I completely documented my journey to my first ever fitness model competition. And there you saw that I did have a few breakdowns. I had a few moments where I was upset. And I was upset because for a few reasons. I was running on 0 carbs and I injured my back, and a few other things happened and everything compounded, and I broke down. I had an emotional blowout. And so I talk about that, and I'm very open about that in that series. And I want to mention that in the last 2 months of preparing for this competition, I haven't had any emotional breakdowns, like being upset, crying my fucking eyes out kind of thing. And look, I'm not afraid to admit it. There are guys that are also competitors, and they've admitted to me that they've had emotional breakdowns, but they'll never ever admit it to anybody else, ever. And that's really disappointing. I wish people were more open about, especially guys. Girls, you know, usually are very emotional creatures. I have no problems with that. But guys, there's this thing in society where you can't fucking be emotional because you're a dude. You're meant to be strong all the time. But the truth is, everybody, you know, everybody's emotion, unless you're a crazy person and you know, you're in jail, you don't have feelings. But even then, everybody has feelings, right? So it needs to be talked about. But in the last 2 months, I haven't felt like I've had tough times. I've had really tough times dealing with you know, dealing with 2 weeks of strict meal prep. Like, I mean, it's been strict for the last 2 months. It's actually been quite strict the last 6 months or so, but particularly the last 2 weeks has been more strict than the previous month and a half. And on top of that, dating as well, like dating girls for the first time in a while, and how that's impacted my focus and my motivation, and how that's caused me at times to lose track of my meal planning and even lose motivation in my training, and losing focus for the moment, and at times binge eating. Like, when I say binge eating, I'm talking about, you know, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, being upset, being 0 carbed, so having no carbs, and looking at everything going, I don't have a social life, and all this kind of stuff, just having these negative, crazy thoughts, and just going, fuck the meal plan, I'm just going to go out and binge, and eating chocolate brownies, and just going off the meal plan. So I've had those moments in the last 2 months. It has been tough. It has been a tough 2 months, but I've had different types of challenges compared to the first prep that I did. I wasn't stuck in Thailand this time around. I didn't travel overseas. I wasn't dealing with those elements. And I wasn't dating per se during my first comp prep. So different challenges. And because I've also noticed as well that going from one comp prep to another comp prep back to back has the added challenge of not having a psychological break from competition mindset thinking, and has made it that extra challenging as well. I spoke to my competition coach about this. She said that it's always hard going from one comp to another, to another, to another, back to back to back. It's easier if you do one comp, have a break, and then do the next competition. But I didn't do that. I went straight into this one. So that also explains why I've had, more meal plan breakdowns and not emotional breakdowns. I've been better psychologically, and peak week has been easier for me. This peak week has been easier for me than the first peak week. I didn't have this much energy on one day out leading up to my first competition than I do now. So it's definitely, I definitely noticed the difference. You probably noticed the difference as well. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about that. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned for more. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. I talk more about comp prep, contest prep from my experience, my journey as a fitness model competitor. A lot of people ask me questions about what it's like to be a fitness model. I was like, I'm so humble. I'm not sponsored. No one's paying for this, to do this. I pay everything out of pocket. I love doing it for the most part. There are challenges, there are ups and downs like any sport in life. You have to accept the good and the bad together. Like Melbourne weather, it's shitty outside, right? Overcast, but you got to accept it. If you want the sunshine in life, you got to accept the fact that it's going to rain every now and again. And if you can't accept the rain, then what's the point of living? You're just going to live for the sunshine. You're just going to live for those moments where they're sunny, they're happy, they're glamorous. And what a waste of life. Make the most of everything. Make the most of everything. And I'm not saying be positive and happy all the time, because of course, in my comp prep experience, I've had shit moments, I've had terrible moments, I've had moments where I'm just like, I can't be fucked doing any of this. Why am I doing this? I'm sick of training in the gym every 5-6 days a week. I'm sick of it. But that's normal shit. I never tell people to not own that. I just tell people to get real with their feelings and own that. Go, yeah, it is challenging, but then move on, right? Own it, acknowledge it. It sucks, it's terrible. You feel pain. You don't feel like going to the gym. Own it, draw a line in the sand, move on. Don't be depressed about it every single day, because if you are, you should change. You should do something else. And I haven't felt depressed about this. I've had sad moments, but I draw a line in the sand and I keep going. That's how it is, man. So if you're happy, 90% of the time, you're on the right path. You're on the right path.
Reveal.
Kaboom. This is it, guys.
This is it?
Face tan.
Done.